Previously, Ye Tian arrived at a ruined shopping mall. Ye Tian was certain that the fierce beast was hiding as the fishy smell of the striped snake was strong. Ye Tian walked inside the shopping mall and what greeted him was a huge snake-like beast hiding inside. It was the stripped snake fierce beast. Upon closer inspection, Ye Tian saw that the beast was drinking a liquid dripping from a stalactite. As the severely injured fierce beast was drinking from it, Ye Tian was sure that it wasn't anything ordinary. In any case, Ye Tian will know its origin after he dealt with the beast and pulled out his sword. Without delay, Ye Tian dashed toward the recuperating beast, but to his surprise, the stripped snake was still very fast considering it has incurred severe injuries. This caught Ye Tian off guard and was hit by a strike from the beast and was blasted away. But Ye Tian, being the OP that he is, pulled out his bow and arrow and shot 2 arrows towards the beast while still in the air, which hit the boss accurately in its 2 eyes, blinding it. Meanwhile, Ye Tian caught his landing and discarded his bow and arrows. Again, being the OP that he is, caught the sword that was blasted with him, and dashed back towards the beast. This time, Ye Tian dodged the beast's attack and landed on its arm, stabbing it deep with his sword. The beast screamed in pain, but Ye Tian was far from over as he dragged his stabbed sword upwards towards the beast's upper body, leaving gashes of purple blood behind. After he has slashed open the whole body, the beast finally fell and died. With that amount of blood lost in its system, I doubt it will stand up again. Ye Tian saw the beast fell and commented that the stripped snake was indeed powerful. If Xiao Bay and his company did not injure or tired it out before, Ye Tian will surely not stand a chance against such a beast. He then panned his attention towards the stalactite earlier. Thinking how the beast went back here to recuperate and drank the liquid that was dripping from it, he decided to collect the liquid as he pulled out a glass container and put it directly under the stalactite. Ye Tian left the glass container to collect the liquid drippings and went back to the corpse of the fierce beast. He carved out the eye as proof to collect his 1000 points. This time around, Ye Tian knew how precious was a fierce beast's blood and did not forget to collect it through the beast's heart. Ye Tian went back to get the glass container and decided to destroy the stalactite because Xiao Bay and company were definitely on their way here and he doesn't like the idea of leaving it for Xiao Bay. After Ye Tian finished his collections, he then decided to leave the area. Moments later, Xiao Bay and other people from the First Academy arrived at the crime scene, where they found the lifeless body of their beast completely drained with blood and other important stuff. Seeing that the only thing that the thief left for him was a dried up corpse, Xiao Bay almost popped a vein in anger. But no matter how many veins he popped, there was no changing the fact that the fierce beast that they painstakingly dealt with has been stolen from them, right under their noses. Finally, they decided to just leave, but Xiao Bay was not letting this go easily and ordered his men to rain anyone in sight to find the thief. But no one noticed a figure peering at the top of a building, looking down at them, the thief himself, Ye Tian. Seeing how mad Xiao Bay was, he decided to keep a low profile for now and darted away with his speed talent. He was jumping from building to building, getting as far away as possible. He understood that after 3 days, when the scores will be settled, Xiao Bay will know who stole the fierce beast from him. For now, what he must do was to cultivate for the rest of the days, become as strong as possible to protect himself before the settlement of the score, since he has already more than 1000 points. Moments later, Ye Tian finally found a decent place to keep hidden for 3 days. He entered the ruined place and pulled out the loot he gathered from the fierce beast earlier. He pulled out a vial of fierce beast blood and took a sip. Ye Tian lamented how bad it tastes, but he has to be stronger than he is right now to protect himself and his sister, Ye Yu, so he gritted his teeth and downed the bottle of fierce beast blood in one go. After he drank the blood, he quickly started his cultivation and he was shocked when he noticed that his cultivation speed was multiplied by 4 times. So this is the power of fierce beast blood. No wonder Chen Dong and others cultivated so fast. Ye Tian finally realized what he's been missing out on. Realizing what he could gain after drinking 1 bottle of fierce beast blood, Ye Tian opened his bag full of fierce beast blood and commenced his cultivation with more eagerness than ever before. Cut to 3 days later, students from different academies gathered outside the wilderness to redeem their points by submitting monster parts. The one at the reception was calling their names with their accumulated scores. Li Yunxing then put his backpack on the table, asking the receptionist to count his scores. The receptionist made a quick check and announced that Li Yunxing has 195 points. That was some quick counting. Hearing this, everyone was impressed as this was the highest score so far. But his limelight did not last long as Xiao Bay arrived with his henchmen from the First Academy. Xiao Bay belittled Li Yunxing, asking if that's all he's got and that 195 points was nothing to fuss about. While still mocking Li Yunxing, Xiao Bay poured everything he has on the table, startling the receptionist. She made a quick calculation again and announced that Mo Xiao Bay has 427 points, that's 232 more than Li Yunxing. This result greatly overwhelmed everyone present, but Li Yunxing knew that not everything was hunted by him and accused him of robbing others' points. Mo Xiao Bay did not even feel ashamed as he clapped back at Li Yunxing, saying that he robbed them with his own abilities, so what's wrong with that? Attacked by Mo Xiao Bay's shamelessness, Li Yunxing was rendered speechless. It was very effective. Everyone then started complimenting and congratulating Mo Xiao Bay as 427 points were very hard to surpass. But Mo Xiao Bay thought differently. He still remembered his stolen fierce beast and said that there should be someone with over 1,000 points. This shocked everyone as over 1,000 points were madness for them. At the reception table, the professor from the 5th Academy asked the receptionist if the students who were still alive have come out already. This guy, I don't even know if he was looking forward to his students' demise or what. Nevertheless, the receptionist answered with a straight face that if they were not out by now, they were probably dead. This confirmation made the scum of a teacher from the 5th Academy happy, as for him, then, this is Mo Xiao Bay's win. Bro literally cheering for the wrong team here. But like a jinx, or a devil if you speak his name, someone shouted that someone came out from the wilderness. This greatly shocked the scum teacher as he looked back at the location of the entrance. There he saw Ye Tian walking casually to the reception table. He put his items to be counted and the receptionist was taken aback when he saw a fierce beast's eyeballs on the table. Seeing that the receptionist was out of words from his eyeballs rather, Ye Tian pressed her for his score. Responding to Ye Tian, the receptionist announced his score to be 1,163 and proclaimed him as the first place winner for this trial. Another lady then handed out the prizes, which were 3 portions of fierce beast blood and 100,000 yuan in cash for the first place. Following this announcement, Zhang Bao and other students from the crowd cheered for him and congratulated him. Li Yunxing from the 2nd Academy was shocked by how much Ye Tian's score amounted to. He visibly sees Ye Tian as someone below him when they met before, so he's wondering how could he have done that. Amongst the crowd of people cheering, someone was gritting his teeth while looking at Ye Tian, calling him the thief. It was Mo Xiao Bay. He ordered his henchmen to do a background check on him and see where he was from. Someone also in the crowd that was unhappy with Ye Tian's accomplishment was none other than his own teacher. Zhang Bao asked him why he was not happy about it, and he just answered that angering the Mo family, which was one of the strongest families in Seafront Base, was akin to courting death. He believed that Ye Tian will be in pieces after this trial. Zhang Bao was also worried after hearing this. But what a low life, to think your own teacher was against you. After giving out the prizes for the 2nd and 3rd, the 3 of them lined up on the stage and took a picture together, and with it, they announced the end of the trial. While still standing on the podium, Mo Xiao Bay confronted Ye Tian for meddling with his stuff, which Ye Tian indifferently answered. But hearing that Mo Xiao Bay was unhappy that Ye Tian stole his stuff, Li Yunxing clapped back at him with his own statement earlier, saying that Ye Tian stole it with his own abilities. Mo Xiao Bay laughed it off but was visibly angry, asking Li Yunxing which was more capable, him or Ye Tian. Seeing his sinister face, Ye Tian did not back down and faced Mo Xiao Bay face to face, saying that they will know with a match, and if Mo Xiao Bay was free, he can accompany him anytime. Mo Xiao Bay was speechless. He did not clap back after that, but Ye Tian knew that his strength right now wasn't enough to deal with Mo Xiao Bay and the Mo family. The only way he can escape this was to become stronger. Later that day, Ye Tian came home looking fresh. Hearing Ye Tian's voice, Yi Yu darted towards him, hugging him. She was asking him why he got home so late and if he has some injuries, but Ye Tian reassured her that he was fine. He then told her that he brought back a gift which excited Yi Yu. Ye Tian emptied his backpack and Yi Yu was shocked by the sheer amount of money Ye Tian has. Also, he has the prized fierce beast blood with him, the piece of stalactite, and the water from it, that was contained in a glass bottle. But Yi Yu only saw the money though, saying that Ye Tian has now enough money to marry. Ye Tian clarified that the money was for the daily expenses in her studies, not for his wedding. Yi Yu then finally noticed the stuff came alongside the money. She picked up the water from the stalactite and inspected it. Ye Tian then pulled out a book saying that he bought that illustrated book to know of the origin of the water and the stalactite. Basically an encyclopedia for treasures. Ye Tian opened the book and skimmed through it, and not long after, he saw an illustration similar to that of the stalactite. It was called the liquid of the Earth's core. It is a condensed liquid from rocks that absorbed yuan qi from the heavens and earth for 100 years. After taking it, one's cultivation talent will improve, but it only works for those of medium talent and below. There is a small probability that the place of origin of the earth core liquid is associated with the earth stone, which has improving effects on those of medium talent and below. Reading the treasure's description, Ye Tian hypothesized that the stripped snake must have relied on the Earth's core liquid to break through the level of a fierce beast. After knowing its effect, Ye Yu decided to give it to his brother, but Ye Tian wanted Ye Yu to become stronger as well, so he asked Ye Yu to drink it up. Ye Yu was wondering why would she drink it when it says in its description that it only works for mid-level talent and below, and she hasn't awakened her talent yet. Ye Yu thought that would only go to waste if she will be the one drinking it. But Ye Tian thought differently. He can clearly see Ye Yu's status with her second-class cultivation talent and an unawakened novice ice talent. Ye Tian was certain that her cultivation talent will improve if she drinks the liquid, but by how much, not even Ye Tian would know. While Ye Tian was pondering her growth in the future, Ye Yu came up with a bright idea of selling the liquid for more bucks, but Ye Tian explained that the buyer will definitely ask for the earth stone that comes with the liquid, but as Ye Tian already trashed the place, it was no longer possible to get it. Saying that there was no earth stone will not satisfy the buyer and would not believe such words, hence in the end, it'll only lead to assassination. Ye Yu, not bothered by the fact that they could be assassinated if they sell the liquid, asked Ye Tian why did he destroy the place. She still thought that selling it was the best choice. Ye Tian on the other hand picked the bottle from her hands and held Ye Yu by the mouth, saying that it would also be a pity if she won't drink it, so he was forcing her to drink it. Ye Yu flailed and screamed, but in the end, Ye Tian emptied the bottle and she downed it all. Right after she finished drinking the liquid, she then felt a warm feeling inside her. This feeling made her sleepy and she slept on the sofa, saying that she would make a meal after she woke up later. Ye Tian, however, felt something was wrong as Ye Yu's cultivation talent did not change at all. Thinking that the change may still be in progress yet, he decided to wait for a little longer. An hour later and Ye Tian was still beside Ye Yu in the living room, cultivating. Suddenly he felt a strong surge of talent wave and he quickly looked at the source of the wave. He looked at Ye Yu, who was still sleeping, and then a status window popped up showing her talent. To Ye Tian's surprise though, her cultivation did not just improve but improved by 2 stages, jumping from second-class talent to mid-level talent in an hour. This result made Ye Tian certain that in the future, Ye Yu will become a top-level warrior. Seeing Ye Yu's improvement, Ye Tian became fired up and went inside his room to drink the fierce beast's blood that he won in the trial. The same as before, the taste was horrible, but this time around, the blood came from a mid-level fierce beast that was much stronger than what he drank in the wilderness. After he downed a bottle, he then commenced his cultivation and was shocked by how much his speed rose. Back then in the wilderness, the blood only gave him a boost of 3 times, whereas this time, the blood gave him a boost of 8 times. This effect really amazed Ye Tian, as for him, if he has enough blood, he could achieve the warrior level within a month, but he only has 2 bottles left. Nevertheless, Ye Tian continued his cultivation, and after 10 days, he was back in the 5th academy. He was sitting on the same rock he was cultivating before. While Ye Tian was silently cultivating, a loud shout was heard, and as he opened his eyes, he saw his good friend, Zhang Bao, running towards him with worries in his face. In a panic, Zhang Bao can only repeat Mo Xiao Bei's name, and Ye Tian stood up from where he was sitting, thinking that Mo Xiao Bei came to personally deal with him. Zhang Bao then quickly made himself clear, saying that Mo Xiao Bei retreated into self-isolation to try and aim for the warrior stage. For Zhang Bao, this news spells trouble for Ye Tian, as Mo Xiao Bei has a bone to pick with Ye Tian and he will come back after reaching the warrior stage to deal with him. Hearing that his worries were in vain, Ye Tian sat back down to continue cultivating, but Zhang Bao asked him why he was just sitting down. Zhang Bao did not know, but Ye Tian did a background check on Mo Xiao Bei. Mo Xiao Bei only has mid-level cultivation talent, hence in his calculations, it will take him at least a month to reach the warrior level. Seeing that Ye Tian went back to cultivating, Zhang Bao expressed his worries again, saying that Mo Xiao Bei was a disciple from a good background with plenty of resources, while Ye Tian only has the 3 bottles of fierce beast blood which must have been finished already. Ye Tian did not deny the fact that he already downed all 3 bottles. This news greatly weakened the already panic-driven Zhang Bao, and he kneeled on the ground, saying that the least he can do was take care of his body and his little sister when he was gone, since they were good friends. Ye Tian did not bicker with Zhang Bao any longer and continued his training. In his mind, he knows that what he has right now could only get him to a top-level apprentice stage. Though he was just 1 step behind being a warrior, but with his speed talent and knife talent, he was certain that he could battle a warrior. Somewhere at the Mo family residence, there was a towering door that was made of reinforced metal and locks all over it. A single man stood guarding the door. Suddenly the metal door begins to crack, and with a boom, the door exploded into pieces and a young man stepped out of the room behind it. The man who stood guarding the door greeted the young lad and congratulated him on achieving the warrior stage. The young lad has an impeccable physique that emphasizes his greatness and strength. He's no other than Mo Xiao Bei. Mo Xiao Bei then entered a living room, followed by the arrival of a man accompanied by a well-built man. He happily greeted Mo Xiao Bay for becoming a warrior at last. This man was Mo Xiao Bay's father, Mo En. He was one of the 10 elders of the Elders Association of the Seafront Base, representing the wealthy Mo family. Mo En was also at the level of middle elite warrior stage. Hearing his father's happy remarks, Mo Xiao Bay assured Mo En that he will not embarrass the Mo family. Mo En agreed and told Mo Xiao Bay that their elder wants to personally reward him. This news made Mo Xiao Bay glad as he knelt in front of his father, showing his filial piety towards the family who helped him reach the warrior level. Mo En then asked his men to see if the food that he ordered to be cooked was ready so that they can celebrate Mo Xiao Bay's achievement. Mo Xiao Bay then said he would go there on his own, which his father agreed and left, saying that he should come soon as his favorite dishes were there. As Mo En left, Mo Xiao Bay turned to ask his henchman about Ye Tian's background check he requested. His henchman replied that Ye Tian has no parents and no one to rely on, basically a nobody that they can easily deal with. Hearing the report, Mo Xiao Bay was amazed that he doesn't have a strong background and yet he dared to meddle with his stuff. He then ordered his henchman to get someone to deal with him as he has no time to deal with trash like him. But his henchman disagreed with his method, as killing within the seafront base will cause so much trouble for the Mo family. This does not bother Mo Xiao Bay as he did not plan to use the Mo family's name to kill Ye Tian. He wanted to hire a shadow killer that could deal with him silently from the shadows. Dead man tells no tale. No face, no case. But to hire a shadow killer, they need at least $1 million for the price, but to use $1 million for a poor boy like Ye Tian, his henchman thought it would be waste. Mo Xiao Bay disagreed with this statement and belittled his henchman as a poor-minded fool as he only thinks of the cost. He proceeded to say that the reason that, here in the seafront base, only a few families continued to prosper was because whenever they find talents from the poor sector, they kill it. This shocked the henchman. He thought of the 5th Academy, and Mo Xiao Bay confirmed to him that that academy was there to conquer the weak. Back to the 5th Academy, Ye Tian was still back in the grove training his cultivation and sword talents. He just stopped for the day as he noticed that the weather was about to get worse and that he should go home now. As he was walking along the empty street under the rain, he noticed an anomaly above him. He saw a floating status window above the electric post when there was no one standing there. When he read the status window, everything made sense to him. The status window shows the name of the person, Li Kun, as well as his second-class talent and novice shadow talent. While he was reading, the status window suddenly disappeared and a dark shadow darted toward him from the top of the post. By instinct, Ye Tian quickly pulled out his sword to block the incoming attack. He then jumped back to put some distance and asked the person who was he. From the shadows, a man that looked like an emo from my time, appeared while holding a dagger. He flashed a sinister smile and said that he was here for his life. Thanks for tuning in to watch this video. I hope you found it enjoyable. If you did, please consider subscribing to my channel for more content like this in the future. I appreciate each and every one of you and look forward to bringing you more great content in the future. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.